now informed that LOP Sajith Premadasa likely to be next president of Sri Lanka. Parliament to convene on the 19th of July to elect the president. Rajapaksa's resignation likely to be accepted on the 15th of July. So news coming in from Sri Lanka. After an impasse in which it was said that opposition parties had failed to arrive at a consensus on a single name to lead the country in the position of president, well, a decision has finally been made. It is Sajith Premadasa who will be the next president of Sri Lanka. He will be succeeding President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who is likely to resign on the 13th. His resignation to be accepted on the 15th of July. So Sri Lanka finds a new president. On the second straight day on Monday, the opposition parties in Sri Lanka had failed to put forward a single leader to replace the country's embattled President Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Protesters, meanwhile, continued to sit in the president's residence, occupying it and demanding an official resignation from both the leaders. Take a look.
While the Sri Lankan crisis shows no signs of reversal, the island nation is now hit with a political vacuum. The opposition leaders, for a second straight day, failed to put forward a name to replace its roundly rejected leaders, whose residences are occupied by protesters angry over the country's deep economic woes. Protesters remained in President Rajapaksa's residence, his seaside office, and Prime Minister Wickremesinghe's official home, which they stormed on Saturday, demanding the two leaders to step down. It marked the most dramatic day of protests during 3 months of relentless crisis that has pushed many to the brink to despair amid acute shortages of fuel, food, medicine, and other necessities. The protesters, who come from all walks of life, vowed to stay put until the resignations of the leaders are official.
July 9th was a historic day in Sri Lanka. I think it was the mass protest, the biggest mass protest in Sri Lanka. Hundreds of thousands of people thronged the fort area and occupied the most important places of the state. Thereby, they were able to chase away the corrupt president, the prime minister, and the whole government. Though they are still in power in law, but there is no president, no prime minister, no government at the time. They have been chased away by the people's power. That's the main thing, important thing for Sri Lankan issue.
As per the Sri Lankan parliamentary speaker, Rajapaksa has said that he will step down on Wednesday, July 13th. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister reiterated that he will stay on until a new government is in place because he wants to work within the constitution.
ආණ්ඩුවක් වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ නීතිය අනුව. ඒ වගේම අපි ව්‍යවස්ථාදායක අනුව ක්‍රියා කරන ව්‍යවස්ථාවෙන් පිට අපි ක්‍රියා කරන්නට යන්නේ නැහැ. පාර්ලිමේන්තුවටත් බල කරන්න බෑ. පිටින් ඉඳගෙන මේ වැඩ කරන්න කියලා. මම ඉන්නේ මෙතන ව්‍යවස්ථාව ආරක්ෂා කරන්න. ව්‍යවස්ථාව ආරක්ෂා කළ ව්‍යවස්ථාව තුලින් ජනතාවගේ මතයට කන් දෙන්න. අපිට අද වමනා වෙලා තියෙන සර්වපාක්ෂික ආණ්ඩුවක් ඒක ඇති කරන්නත් ක්‍රියා කරන්නේ.
Rajapaksa appointed Wickremesinghe as Prime Minister in May in an effort to solve the shortages and start economic recovery. But delays in alleviating the shortages of basic supplies has turned public anger against him, with protesters accusing him of protecting the president. The Prime Minister had been a part of crucial talks with the IMF for a bailout program and with the World Food Programme to prepare for a predicted food crisis. The government must submit a plan on debt sustainability to the IMF in August before reaching an agreement. Sri Lanka is relying on aid from India and other nations as leaders try to negotiate the bailout with the IMF. The Prime Minister said recently that the negotiations with the IMF were complex because Sri Lanka was now a bankrupt state. However, it remains to be seen if the country will sink deeper into the crisis or dig out of it. Agency report, Republic TV.